Hi, in this video, I want to quickly show you how to use options ideally. So let's say I call this experiment example options, and I want to write some code. Let me first go to the command overview. If you want to use options in your experiment, you can set all sorts of things, and it's very practical. So where do you find it? Well, you need to go here, options. Options are not needed, as I say. Uh, but they are useful. And in this specific experiment, I want to actually highlight you this, but especially the background color. I want to explain that. So why is that useful? So let's say we have in our we start with options, and it's a section. So we say background, and then you can say color. Now, often people the default is black, but so sometimes people really like white. Then an empty line, and then you can start your task. And let's say we have a simple task and we just show an image or we show a text, show text, hello there. Now, by default, text is white, so if I have a white background, we need to actually provide a couple of more parameters. Now, if we go on the command overview for show text, you can specify you need to specify the x and the y coordinate and the color name. Now, what else is that? Well, here you have some examples. 0, 0, that means on the x-axis you have 0, so that's in the middle of the screen horizontally, and another 0 for the y-axis, that's the vertical alignment. And then you can say, for example, a blue text. And for this task, we don't do anything. It's just really for showing that you can get this white background. So we say we just do a long delay, say of let's say 100 seconds. Now, how do you do 100 seconds? 100, 1, 2, 3, because 100,000 seconds. 100 seconds is 100,000 milliseconds. And then we always need to have a block test, say task simple task, do that 2 times. We save the code, we compile it, and we run the experiment. And what you see is you see the word hello there, blue uh, a blue text. Now, what else could you do for background? Let's have a look. So for the options, so the background color, so you can provide it in what we call a HTML color. You rarely need that, or you can put it as red, green, in red, green, blue channels. They always go from 0 to 55. It's rarely needed, so I wouldn't worry about that for now. So that about color. Now, what about full screen? The full screen option is quite nice. It just makes sure that you don't have any borders around your screen, and it can also scale it. So let's say uh, we do it like this: save code, compile, and we run this. And now, if we start it, it goes in full screen, and that's quite nice because then there are no distractions. Now, um, there's also the option scale, and that actually is uh, is relevant to scaling to the full screen. It is a little bit more difficult to understand, but let me have a look at it. So if you do is hello there, but then if you go in regular size, it still fits. But if you have a different resolution, say we say a common resolution HD resolution, say that is the size of the drawable area that you use. So you can 1920 wide, 1080 pixels wide, so wide, width, and height. You can, if you want, you can put the X in there. You'll need to. There are options. We save this and we compile it. You see now that the hello there is actually a little bit smaller because the whole drawing area has become larger. And even if you go then in select the windowed mode, you see it becomes really small. So that can be an issue. Now, um, Do I recommend 1920 times 80? It doesn't really matter that much. Most experiments are actually in the standard resolution, which is 800 by 600 pixels, but you don't need to say that because that's default. So, that about the background color, I think that is probably a really useful one. There are some other options, but they are maybe somewhat more advanced and they are less frequently used. So if you're a beginner, I wouldn't worry about this. So that's about options. But if you don't want to think about that, you know, just don't use options. But if you want to set the background color of your screen, which I notice people really want, then use this. I hope that helps. It was a quick tip. Um, yeah, if you have any questions, leave a comment below the video, and please like and subscribe.